Newsreel, 3rd edition. At Lockheed in Burbank, the Electras are beginning to line up. This is number 3 for American, now in the final assembly building. The fuselage has been pressure tested, and in a separate bay, the cockpit is being set up for joining. Soon, 4, 5, and 6 will be alongside. Beside the final assembly hangar, AA's number 2 fuselage has been moved into the paint shop. Unlike Boeing, Lockheed paints the airplanes before they hit the rollout line. Number 2 and its tail are on dolly wheels for this move. A few days here, and then they'll head for the last line in Lockheed's building B6, from which all Electras will flow. The next time the Electra sees the sun, it will go to the flight line. And here it is, American's number 1 Electra, painted, wings attached, heading for the door. At this point, the engines haven't been installed, but the nacelles are ready. Underneath, Lockheed mechanics are finishing the wing joints. In the cockpit, the basic panels are all in place, ready for finishing. They're easy to read, and equally important, they're easy to get at for checking and maintenance. A rigging specialist begins work on the control column, while his assistant picks up the idea. In the cabin, signs of completeness are being added daily. The overhead racks are in for good, and the areas around the windows are being dressed up regularly. The wiring is now out of sight, but accessible when needed. And just behind the fuselage, last-minute detail work on the tail assembly is being done, looking toward making AA's number 1 a whole Electra. Meanwhile, Lockheed's Big Push test program keeps rolling. Here is a simulated wave-off, demonstrating pure flying ability. The plane approaches, flaps and gear down, then is waved off, told to go around. The Electra's response is instantaneous. It starts flying again at once. To go around is easy. At Renton in Washington, the biggest news of all is breaking. First, line number 1, final at Boeing, is chock full of AA airplanes. There are 7 on the line. The plant is chock full of cowlings, too, shipped in as part of Boeing's huge subcontracting program. And the plant is full of AA blueprints. The bins in the background hold just some of the prints used daily in 707 assembly. Trade is brisk at the counters. And out on the line, on planning boards, and in every manufacturing section, the prints are being translated into airliners. Outside, on the ramp, AA's 8707 is waiting for a place in the plant. A place which will open up as Boeing rolls number 1. Inside again, Boeing's 106, AA's number 6, is receiving its wiring and plumbing. The gear well, headquarters for maintaining the plane's systems, is rapidly assuming a finished look. On number 4, the radome has been fitted. Radar still to come. 2 ships are pushing the work. Number 3 is in good shape, but with concrete engines. The blocks balance the plane until it moves down the line once more. Then come the engines. And right now, this is the end of the line. AA's number 2 airplane being buttoned up steadily in preparation for rollout. Engines are on, and so are the accessories. A crew is now testing the hydraulic systems, part of the rigmarole which must be cleared before the planes can be released to free flight. That's the inside story from Boeing. Final assembly full of Americans. But now to the outside story, the one AAers have been waiting for 2 years. This is it. The hangar doors are open. There is great quiet. About the only sound comes from a tractor engine. And then the roll begins. Here comes number 1, stretched to the 9. Years of planning, months of work, the first few moments in the sun. This is the plane which means jet service in the United States. It's big. The elevators are almost as big as a DC-3's wings. The fuselage is 36 feet longer than a DC-7. On hand for the rollout, airplane fans from Boeing and American. This is the first look. Obviously, it's quite a sight. This is pure jet and pure airplane. As we've said before, this is the future of 1958. Top official at the rollout for American is Gene Taylor on the left, Vice President of Maintenance and Engineering at Tulsa. He's joined by Maynard Pennell, Boeing Transport's Chief Engineer. They're joined by crew members, visitors, and trainees in Boeing schools. They climb an AA ramp for a first look at the interior. The first flight engineers class gathers for a quick briefing. Minutes after leaving the plant, number 1 is tractored across the bridge, which separates Boeing and Renton Airport. On the airport is pre-flight, the division which will put on the finishing touches. Soon now, the 707 will be heading your way.